All right, Johnson, how y'all doing? Get this on the screen here. Let's get this off the screen. Oh, kinda. Try that. There we go. There we go. We're in the building. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. How are you doing? How you doing? All right. Yo, what's up, people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. We are live on Facebook, X, and YouTube, of course. I want to say what's up to my moderator, Buck Bewley and Ebony. Give it up for them. Pull out my chat real quick. Make sure everybody's good. My people, my people, my people, my people. Yeah. Are we live, Buck? Hope the volume's up nice and loud so people can hear the show tonight. We got it going on. It's the Tim Black Wolfpack in the house. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Wolfpack members, for being here. Wolfpack members are the members of my VIP, man. Those are the people that keep the lights on around this joint. I got a light out, but my light's on in the house, so we good. Fam. Wow. All right. We got the people we got decided. We got DC Precise, John Hill, Salute Diamond G, Anthony Smith, H Stacks, Abu Abu. No relation. Okay, I'll take it. What's up? Sound is good, or I will send you a text. Oh, it's all good. Just, yeah. And we are in the building. Yeah. What is going on, party people in the house? Jamila, how you doing? X people, Facebook people, can we get some shares on X and Facebook? We need them, man. X and Facebook. Man, and we've been doing a lot of numbers up here, John, so we've been running up the clock a little bit here on our statements. A lot of people are new to the show, just now finding us. We finding each other, you know what I'm saying? Sifting through the algorithms. It's amazing to be doing something for over a decade, and people be like, I didn't even know you were here, dog. I didn't even know you was out here, Johnson. I mean, I'm happy about it, but I'm also like, YouTube, man, they just, you know, that's what happens when you don't have a budget to promote. If you got a promotional budget, so it's in real time. You see what I'm saying? When you got resources in your business, you pay to promote stuff. You don't just rely on social media, because social media gonna promote what it wants to promote, and you gotta be precise, lucky, on point, have things running exactly right, have a topic that reaches people, all these things in order to get that. But if, you know, like if you Charlie Kirk, I said if you Charlie Kirk and you back in 2012 and you go to a thing with a bunch of Republicans and a Republican opens up his wallet and funds you, and funds your organization. And I was wrong. I thought the number that it was 90 million a year. I'm sorry, it was 150. I didn't know they went that high. They went upwards of $150 million that they were giving Charlie Kirk a year to do his thing. And I was upset, like, I wouldn't say upset, but I remember giving shade to Joy Reid because she was complaining. Joy Reid was complaining that Rachel Maddow was getting 30 million, or was it 10 or 30? I don't know what it was. Maybe 10, I don't know what it was. Let's say 10 million. Joy Reid was getting 10, Joy Reid was mad because she was getting 3 million and Rachel Maddow was getting 10 million. But Charlie Kirk was getting 190 million to run Turning Point USA. I didn't know all that. I don't think Joy knew or Rachel knew how much Charlie was getting for his grassroots organization. And all I've been hearing people talk about is BLM. Hold on, these are bigger than BLM numbers. To get $150 million every year to run a nonprofit organization, what is that, Johnson? Come on now. What's that? What is that? Yeah, I got all of the, and you know what's crazy is everybody in the conservative side, all those people, Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, all the people on the Turning Point, all the people affiliated from the Pat Bet Davids to, which is Valuetainment, all the way over to, let's go as far as, Who else knew about it? A lot of people. What I'm saying is a lot of people know about it. Ben Shapiro and his people. I'm pretty sure Alex Jones and his people. See, I'm not right wing. I'm black. I'm Black American, right? And I say my content is culturally Black American. I do urban political news content from an independent standpoint. That ain't Roland either. Roland is Democrat. He Black American Democrat. That's not what I do. So some people come, they don't know, they come on this channel looking for figure skating. But that's not the point. The point is, all these people knew when they were bashing Black Lives Matter for taking money. And look, I criticize Black Lives Matter too. Where'd all that money go, Black Lives Matter? What you talking about money to break up families or to destroy the nuclear family? What was this crazy stuff? So I've given smoke to Black Lives Matter. Okay? But I would have gave smoke to Turning Point USA had I know they were giving 90, 100, 150 million dollars a year by big money billionaires to do so-called grassroots. That ain't civil activism. I'm talking about making this guy a civil rights activist. That's not civil rights activism. That's pay for hire. That's the DNC. He get DNC level money, Johnson. Now, we all know Republicans, this is why I tell you both parties suck. Because if the Democrats had put forth anybody, Jasmine Crockett, anyone, Roland Martin, I don't know, any of these people, Clay Cane. I'm going to go with Clay Cane, right? Because he came to mind. Okay, I'm going to throw a bone. See, people don't realize this. When you do content and it gets any type of awareness, when you mention people, it's actually good for them. So people act like they're upset when you mention them. They're actually glad you mentioned them. You know, they don't care what you say. Not really. So consider me throwing you a bone when I mention you. It's not a diss. When I mention people, that's good for them. Unless I expose them for some reason. The point is this. My whole point is this. These people knew about what Charlie Kirk was doing. If Clay Cane, if Reese, I forget her last name, I'm sorry, Reese, if Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, Andrew Gillum, Van Lathan, he worked for somebody, so he already on the network. What I'm saying is if they were given $150 million a year, would anybody be able to say that they're civil rights leaders? No. Because civil rights denotes independence. If billionaires are funding you to the tune of $150 million, look, even if Nick Fuentes, who said it was 150, even if he's wrong and I was right at 90 million a year, Johnson, 90 million a year since when? 2012? Oh, he's just going to the college campuses and he's just talking to the children and trying to share ideas and debate them. His organization is being funded by billionaires to go spread the gospel of the Republican Party. He basically a person for hire. When someone gives you that much money, come on, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We got people. Now, if the Republican Party was sponsoring events, going around to college campuses, a lot of y'all wouldn't have showed up. But since it's a young white guy and a closer to your demographic, right? Not saying he's a Republican arm of the Republican Party, right? Not saying he's the arm of the MAGA, which came later, 2016, 2017. When Candace and him and Candace were out there going everywhere. But you get what I'm saying, fam? Are we making sense here? We connected here? What I'm saying is the hypocrisy of these people, and they're not being honest with you. They're not telling you this stuff. Man, I know this stuff. I find this stuff out. I come back, I share it. We have a conversation. I break it down. I'm running it down to you. Because if I see another video of another black American, don't know anything about what's going on, doesn't have a freaking clue, that just says, Charlie was a nice guy, and if black people would have listened to him, Charlie Kirk was speaking for Republicans and for the Democrat, but for the MAGA movement. If he wasn't, they would have turned the faucet off. You don't want to go listen to Democrats tell you how to live. Why are you going to go listen to the Republican billionaires tell you what to do, tell you what's right, put their spin on history, put their spin on ideology, put their spin on policy, and then have it told to you by somebody slightly younger, and you go, oh, well, this makes sense. Damn. I know it's too hot now. I still got the lid on. But you get what I'm saying? This making sense. I hope it is. Because it's like we falling for the banana in the tailpipe all day over here. We got people just losing their minds. And it's the time to cease it and let's build. Let's build. Let's think. Stop wanting somebody to be your friend. Stop expecting these people to be your friend. Stop. What I tell you about having friends? What I tell you about having friends? Stop thinking somebody your friend. You poor, you black, you ain't got no friends. We your friends, fool. Stop looking for Master Charlie to be your friend. Let's cut it out. But he really liked Candace, and he was nice to Brandon because he got something out of it. And it was business. And he may have had a relationship with Candace. We don't even know. Hell, he may have even had a relationship with Brandon. We don't know. Wait, Brandon be acting super duper emotional all the time. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying, we don't know. We don't know anything. But if all that you say is true, if you're right and they were, and Charlie Kirk was such a great guy, which I keep hearing over and over and over again, well, then maybe Charlie Kirk was just a guy picking up his paycheck. People tell me Roland's a good guy. Just a guy doing what he got to do to make business. Some people may think Cenk Ugin's a good guy. He's just a guy with a corporation trying to make a buck who employs 100 people. You know, but he looks like an activist to you. This guy got a corporation. Nobody goes to McDonald's like, yo, why you know what I'm saying, what's up with the upgrades or what's up with the fries? Well, that's a corporate entity making money. We got to stop thinking people are our friends. Stop thinking that that's what they're here for. They're here for profits and ideologies, and there's big money behind all of these people. When you go to Macy's, if you go to Macy's, any store you go to, a lot of us don't even shop in person anymore. Right? Remember we used to go to this. Remember going to the mall? Remember that thing we used to do back in the day? We used to go to the mall and shit. I remember we just walk around the mall. You see her dog? You see her dog? Yeah, she's checking me out. She see the shoes. She see the shoes, kid. Look at Slim, look at Slim, look at Slim, look at Shorty. Look at Slim, look at Slim. Look at that Bama's. What you Bama's looking at? Look at Slim, look at Slim. Short. We don't even do that no more. You can't. But when you used to go to the mall, go to Things Remembered, and get the fart in the can, or the whoopee cushion, the gag gift, the t-shirt, whatever you get. When you went to the mall, you went to your favorite store, whatever you went there for, right? Get your fake jewelry, whatever it is. Yo, you never went to the store and say, wow, I wonder if this employee at the store, hey, employee at the store, you got anything, what do you think? You got a shirt that'll match these shoes? They'll take you to the shirt that matches the shoes. You show them the shirt. Say, what look at these shoes. Right, ladies? That's what you can do, right? I got a new purse. I need some shoes with the purse. So I knew the purse with the shoes. Whatever way you do it. And that employee who works for that company, if they want to move up in that company, if they want to continue their employment in that company, they'll tell you, yo, Yes, hello. Let's go over here and look at the shoes. Look, these are great. Would you like these? What size are you? And they go based on their stock and start finding you shit. And they bring them out. Because that's what an employee of the store would do. They're an employee, they work for the company, it's their job to be an agent of the company. That's all Charlie Kirk was. That's all Roland is. That's all these people with these jobs are doing. That's all CNN Abby Phillip is doing. That's all Rachel Maddow was doing. When you cease to do that, you leave. Now, every once in a while, if you are lucky, there'll be an employee at an establishment, and you'll ask a question, and they'll look you in the eye, and they'll say, get it down the street. Get it down the street. You don't want to get that. Nah. Go across the street. Every once in a while, you'll get an honest person who will tell you, go across the street. You don't want that. Black women are the best with this, man. They give you that joint. You sure you like that? Don't you work here? It's your job to promote. I can't send you out like that, baby. No. I can't send you out there like that. No. Put that back. That's been me. I've been there. I listen though. I don't get offended. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. You know, in the grocery store, when you get in the bags, when you're hitting the thing, the pad, pop up and ask you if you want to donate, if you want to give to the crippled children, or you want to round it up. That's what they call it. You want to round it up for whatever cause in the grocery store. You know, I had a cashier tell me, it was a young black dude. He was like, man, they don't even help them kids with that money, son. They put that in their pocket, Don't mess with that, It's a scam, They putting that in their pocket, We don't even get no money there. We don't even get a cut of that. They get a cut of that to themselves, Like, for real? So the point what I'm trying to express is that you can't expect employees not to act as employees. And I'm talking about Charlie Kirk, but I'm talking about something bigger than Charlie Kirk. I'm talking about how business is done in America. And if you're going to be consuming, if you're going to be spending, wake up and realize that's exactly what you're doing, and that they have a vested interest. They are not an agent of you. They're not working for you. Now, the goal of independent media is for us to actually work for our viewers. If you do an investigative piece, you're doing that not for an entity, not for an ideology, not for a party, not for a corporation. You're doing that for the community that you're building. You're doing that for the people that support you and the people that share your vision, right? That's supposed to be what this is about. That's why it's a problem when we got people that work for CNN, work for MSNBC, work for all these big names. Then they lose their jobs, but they still in that. You spend 10 years, 15 years as a corporate entity working at a corporation. As soon as they get another job offer, they're going to run right back. So how much truth are they really going to put out? Are they going to burn bridges? Who has Don Lemon, for instance? Don Lemon, I don't know him. Maybe a nice guy in real life. I don't know. But is Don Lemon going to burn bridges by exposing CNN? You don't think Don Lemon got stories to tell after being in CNN for 15, 20 years? He don't have some shit he could tell us that could benefit us? Of course he does. But he ain't gonna do nothing stupid like that. He might want to come back. He might want to go work at another network. How could you work anywhere for 15 years and have no stories to tell? He's just out here acting like he ain't been nowhere. Like he ain't been making multiple millions of dollars at a corporation for the past 20 years. He busy talking about whatever we talking about. Why is he not giving us the real skinny on what's going on? Because he don't want a revolution. He don't want shit to change. He willing to maintain the status quo, even when he free. This Bama left the plantation. He got his freedom papers. He didn't take them. He didn't run. They fired him. That's how bad a slave he was. They fired him. They got rid of him. And what do? He come back to the job after he fired. He's still there. He's still working. He's still working on the plantation. Hey, dog, we let you go, Don. Mr. Lemon, we let you go. He's still baling cotton for the man. Joy V, same thing. Same exact thing. She left the plantation, had to get fired, couldn't leave on her own. No matter how much money she was making, would not leave. And what's she doing? Still talking about Trump and Democrats are the saviors and still ain't really got no bad words for them. She worked for MSNBC for a decade and she ain't got nothing she can tell us about how corrupt that organization is, about nothing about the Democrats. You're a free person now. My African sister, you free. And what are you doing? Trump bad, Trump evil, orange man bad, orange man fascist, orange man Nazi. That's it. And that's pathetic. Don't y'all think? Don't you think that's pathetic? Man, I'm just telling you, man. I'm telling you. So anyway, tonight on tonight's show, look, guys, anybody new to the show? Anybody new here today? Anybody new in the house? Look, this is a political show, U.S. politics, Black culture, and breaking news show. That's what we do here on the Tim Black Show. We live stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I put out clips. We're really in a mass production mode. We put out 3 to 5 clips a day, plus we do the live streams. We give a comprehensive, large amount. We turn on the hose of news, content, commentary every day. That's what we do here. We don't do 1 video a day. We don't do 5 videos a month. We workers here. We get it in. Go to Join Tim Black. Type in Join Tim Black. If you ain't been here long, sign up as a free member. And every once in a while, I'll make paid member stuff free to let you see what we about, let you see what it is. But we're trying to build a community. I'm beholden to the community. I am a vessel of information for the community, right? So what happens is people that are members of the show, they contact me. They're like, Tim, what about this story? Tim, have you heard this? And their requests and their tips jump to the front of the line. Now, anybody can tell me, Tim, what's this, what's that, check this out, check that out. But who you think I listen to first? My people. I listen to the people that help keep the lights on, the people that are members of my community, the people that back what we do. They are the first level that we listen to. People got requests. They're not members of the show. They don't contribute to the show. They just want to take. But the members of the show help the show and the community exist. It would only be foolish not to give those people priority. And it would also be lack of integrity. Yeah, man, we got to have integrity. We got to move with some type of ethics. You know what I'm saying? The people that work with you, the people that help support you, those would be your people, man. The people that you look out for first. Nothing wrong with looking out for your people first. Everybody else does. They just don't tell your ass. I said everybody else does. They just don't tell you. Case in point, there's this white guy. Dyed blue Democrat on TikTok. I don't know his name. Think it's something Dennis or Mitchell. I don't know his name. Dean or something. I don't know. I'm busy. I don't keep up on everybody that streams. He was an actual direct opposite. He was an op of Charlie Kirk's. He was an op of Charlie's, and they used to debate or go at each other. I don't know. When Charlie met his demise, he got nothing but nice things to say about Charlie. And some people are taking that as that's just being proper. That's just being ethical and being empathetic, right? Some people are taking it that way. And I get why some people would take it that way. I get that, I understand, but I also look at it like Were you guys real? Or is it just a good way to play off someone for numbers? I mean, because there's some real strong opinions. I mean, that's what they say, you know, everybody got opinions, just an opinion, a different opinion. You know, opinion is like paper or plastic. And opinions like Redskins or Cowboys, Canelo or Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Real Housewives of Atlanta or, I don't know, the Friends. I don't know, what's some, I'll forget the white shows. But you know, Beyond the Gates or Family Time, I don't know. Downtown Abbey. There you go, Downtown Abbey. Downtown Abbey or Beyond the Gates. I don't know. That's an opinion, right? It's not an opinion. Why are black fathers leaving the home? Why are black people XYZ? That's not an opinion. That's, you know, I don't know, why are white kids using fentanyl and building meth labs? And none of these folks are asking themselves, hey, why aren't these people concerned with white people? What's going on with white America? Oh, because they want to come save the blacks. See, there's a lot of black folks with this missionary mindset. I've seen it with Africans, and I know it's a continent. There's too many countries for me to be like, this country does this country does that. Too many countries for me to break it all down. So say a lot of Africans with the colonized mind. Oh, the white man. Oh, the love, he to come to save us. But it's nonsense. But I'm seeing that spill over into some black Americans too. Because I can't remember the last time I seen a black guy be able to go talk to white people about what's wrong with white people. And they get glorified for it. And they have people crying. Crying. It's okay to feel bad, I get it. But to shoot a video crying about that, upload it, double down, cry more. Like I'm seeing like 3 and 4 videos of crying videos. Sometimes the same person. And you know how many black people have died since Charlie Kirk? Lots. They don't care about that. So I'm saying they got like a God complex. They have a God complex in this person they didn't know, who for some reason thought he was, it's a tactic. It's a tactic, and it bothers me that it works on 10% of black Americans. 10% of black Americans fall for the tactic of the white savior. They do. They fall for it, man. They do. They thought Clinton was going to save them. They thought, you know, they thought Hillary could have just got in. She would have saved us. Called you super predators on Monday, and on Wednesday, you're like, maybe she'll save us. So, man, we got to get over that. And that to me is a bad way to be. And I'm hoping that with communication, with growth, that more people will come out of that mindset. It's not to demonize anyone. What I'm saying is you look at other communities, you look at the white community, if that's what you want to call it. I do not see the reverse. I do not see them conducting themselves that way. No one goes, for instance, show me a video of a white person losing their mind, right? Over, like Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, some reason we get Steve Harvey. We let Steve Harvey tell us about relationships. His Bama been divorced 4 times, right? For some reason, for a minute there, in the 2015s or something, he became like the relationship guru because the machine decided that's what they wanted you to think he was. Wasn't because he was. It's just the propaganda, the machine, the marketing, the PR, the campaign that they put out about Harvey made people that were low information actually think that Steve Harvey was a relationship guru. Now, Steve Harvey's a guru on maybe telling jokes and doing comedy and but they say you can do anything. You popular, Steve. You can do whatever you want to do once you get popularity. And what I'm saying is, I don't remember seeing white folks go, hey, I changed my relationships and how I was going to do business because of what Steve Harvey said. Steve Harvey saved my relationship. He saved my marriage. I don't remember that. I don't remember videos of people crying, oh, God, Steve has saved us. Me and Linda, we got 4 kids to live in a trailer, and things weren't just going right. I was drinking and punching her, and she was cheating on me. Sometimes with the guy in the house in front of the kids and me. And it was horrible. But then we read Steve's book. He helped us. And that's what's wrong with us white people. We don't want to listen. We get offended instead of listening more. Calling Steve a black supremacist is trying to help us. He helped me. I don't see it. It's comical, but some people are talking this way about Charlie Kirk. Well, look, guys. Damn. They should have never gave you Negroes the internet. My only hope is that somehow, some way, you will get more information. You'll become less of that and more of what we need you to be in order to be a part of the community and actually help the community. All right. We got a good show. I got a good show lined up for you. That's just monologue. We want to have a conversation. Remember, this show is a conversation. This is not a show that, I am just Tim Black. We are friends. I'm a next door neighbor stopping by. Just got off work. Working at the men's haberdashery. Bartending. Jokes. What I'm saying is, I am not Don Lemon. Don't try to be. Tim Black, the way you talk, Tim Black, I can't follow you. I understand, man. See ya. I get it, man. I'm sorry. Ain't gonna change now. See ya. I'm sure there's Melanie King is over there. Go watch Melanie King or Jason Whitlock. The Politics Girls. Those Politics Sisters, I don't even know their name. Go watch them. Bunch of Black American women from different countries that aren't Black American. I don't know. I'm joking. I don't know where people from. It just seem a little. Where are you from? Where are you from? That's what me thinking. Where are you from? You're not from Jersey. You ain't from DC with this. All right, we're gonna go, man. We're gonna go, Johnson. I want to get us lined up. We got content for tonight. Give it up for the chat room. We got people in the chat. We got our fans. We got our friends. Black Mamba's in the house. Give it up for Black Mamba, yo. I'm glad she is here. I ride for the working class. Can we get some likes on some of this stuff here? Can we get a couple of likes? I don't know if we anybody like the show? Here, look, and they say they got to do some more promotion. Look at some promotions going on. Tim Black is promoting. Become a member of the Tim Black Show. The Tim Black Wolfpack is commenting. Officer Scrotum is worse. You can tell me he was crooked now. Wow. I appreciate it, man. You and Eddie Griffin got it right. Go ahead, Straight Godzilla. That's a new one, Straight Godzilla. That's a new person, man. What's up? Straight Godzilla, Calvin Hancock. They got Kirk out the way for the New Age races, second in the ranks. Fearless Mind. I don't want to watch Whitlock. I just got here. What's up, Fearless? What I'm saying, they were talking like, some people, they say they want that line of the way he does it, Oh, a bunch of crying. It's a lot of people crying. Steve, look, Ricky's smiling right now. What is wrong with Ricky? Yo, I want to put out an APB on Ricky's backbone. Does Ricky have any testosterone left at all? I know when we get 50, we hit the wall, but damn it, Ricky. Jesus Christ, Ricky Smiley. Every video, I'm scared. I'm scared, y'all. They coming for us, y'all. I start looking at his content with sometimes you look close, then sometimes you got to back up and look at it. Look at his content. The videos that do numbers are videos of him crying that he afraid something gonna happen to the black people. Ricky, it already happened. Something bad's gonna happen. Dog, where you been? It's already under progress. The outage is occurring now, sir. These people be tripping me out, man. Trump is destroying America. Dude. Jobs left in the late 90s, early 2000s. They threw black people out of constructions and out of building homes. You didn't know about it because you was on a comedy tour doing blow. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Ricky? Something made you put on the Bernadine Jenkins hat. Tell me you wasn't that high when you came up with that, Ricky. Come on, dog. Come on, man. I'm just saying, man, we gotta keep it real here. We gotta keep it real. We will not lie to ourselves. They can lie to themselves all day. 6 days a week, twice on Sunday. And another thing, who made Ari Spears a spokesperson for black people? Who did that? Who made Ari Spears anything? He's an impressionist. Who made him a spokesperson? Vlad. He goes on Vlad, Tim. That makes him a spokesperson. See, it's just all about if you get in front of enough people. There'll be some dum-dums. Ari Spears, I know more about quantum physics than Ari Spears knows about politics. When he ain't putting out a dumb skit that gets Tiffany Haddish's career destroyed, what is he doing the rest of the time? It's not looking, discovering, researching anything. It's just pull this out and throw this out. I mean, it's a lot of comedians, man, using politics. I don't know what politician or what comedian did it, but there was a comedian in the last 10 years that came out and must have did really well with political content. And now ever since, I think it was COVID, they just say, I guess I'll talk politics without knowing shit. They don't care to know. They don't want to know. It's just whatever other people saying, they just say it and throw a joke on top of it. And look, I'm not here to police the internet. All I'm saying is recognize it. That's all. I'm just recognizing. I'm just looking. I'm making a critique. I'm not saying nothing wrong with him talking. Freedom of speech, damn it. Freedom of speech. But come on, man. I once had a discussion with him. I was about policies that Barack Obama had. And that Bama didn't want to respond to anything I said. He just kept saying, Barack is black, so I'm good whatever he does. I'm like, you make it sound like he put us in a concentration camp. You be so what? Because he's a black man. He's a black man. That's all I want to hear about. He's a black man. You think they was going to let him do all that? He black. He can't change nothing. I'm like, my guy, why are you talking? He black. I'm tired of black people criticizing the black president. And now I see this guy getting promoted like he got an opinion, like he has a sound opinion on politics. But you know what, guys? We're not here for that. Tim Black, we're not here for your personal. I'm like, guys, let me know what you think. I got some clips. I do have some clips. I got some content we could go over. I got content we could go over. We're gonna get to that. I want to see where it is. I don't even know where if it's finished. It should be finished by now. It is finished. That's good. At least we can load it up here. Yeah, we got content, man. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Even though you didn't actually come out anyway, you just get this set up here. Well, not that big. I don't want me. Let's see how. I like the stylish bubble thing. The stylish bubble thing works. That's good. All right, guys. So we good to go. Everybody straight. Let's let the fun begin, Johnson. Hit the like button. Let the algorithm know that you're watching the Tim Black Show right now live, and let's see what we got.
Black.
Well, my brothers and sisters, it has begun. NBC just reported that the Secretary of Defense is asking people at the Pentagon to spy on their co-workers and report them if they post anything critical of Charlie Kirk. Some of y'all may still want to believe that you live in a democracy. This is your reminder, you don't.
The other side is now assaulting people, taking away their livelihoods, putting their lives and their children's well-being in jeopardy because they're not sufficiently mournful of a racist, Christian, nationalist bigot who hated Americans, unless you were white and sufficiently MAGA. People are being fired from their jobs for not being sufficiently mournful of Charlie Kirk's death.
Some big updates about the Marine captain who posted about Charlie Kirk. He's been fired. Not kicked out of the Corps, relieved of command, relieved of his duties. Hey, I'm Cody Harnish, UCMJ attorney. There's actually been some very interesting wrinkles and updates regarding this. Not only has he been fired, but he's also under criminal investigation for this post. Now, an interesting wrinkle that both the command and the investigators are going to have to look at is something I didn't mention in the first video. This green star, this green circle here. Did you see that? Do you know what that means? It means he didn't post it for the world to see. He actually just posted it for his close friends list on Instagram. Well, with friends like that, who needs enemies? And there's still the important fact that despite only posting it to his close friends, he still used his official military social media account. And it's gotten the attention of the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of War himself. Pete Hegseth has ordered the DoD to actively search for military service members making inappropriate posts about Charlie Kirk's death. So the DoD is not just waiting for people to complain, they're actively searching for the stuff now.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah, Johnson, I want people to know this is a level of control and authoritarianism that I did not expect. And when people were talking about authoritarianism with Donald Trump, initially, like, okay, what are we talking about? What are we really talking about? It had been some things I hadn't seen before, but this level over Charlie Kirk this is a problem, people. This is a problem. And see, here's the thing, guys. It doesn't matter what you think of Charlie Kirk. It doesn't matter if you agree with him or if you disagree with him. The point is, this guy is not an elected official. And even if he was an elected official, who cares? People are able to talk on the internet. Once you interfere with that, you have interfered with the First Amendment rights of these individuals. Right? Here's the thing. This is not the government. These are your employer. So it's a little bit different. The state is, if your employer fires you, that's one thing. And I see people make a mockery of that. I see people laughing because they like Charlie and they love Charlie or respect, whatever it is. They admire Charlie and they're happy to see people lose their jobs. They're rooting against individual citizens who are not rich, who shot a video on TikTok, who did not actually do anything to anyone. They say Charlie was hurt because of his words, and then they want other people hurt for their words. And they don't say that's hypocritical at all. Remember, one person did this, not America, not everybody. One individual did this, supposedly. That's if you believe the official narrative. My point is, this is giving Donald Trump and his administration, and it's giving corporations a license to go after employees. They're going after employees on this, and I don't even know, I'm trying to understand the legality of that. Maybe there's a clause that says you can't conduct yourself in a way that shames the corporation or damages the reputation of the corporation, so that gives them grounds. I would challenge that if I was you. I would also suggest that anybody on the internet, start scrubbing your timeline. I work for me, and there's a line I have to not cross, right? Because of YouTube restrictions. And I'm very clear to not cross that line. You got to be clear too, because we got people gunning for you and doxing people online with small followers. I saw somebody had 1,500 followers. The video didn't do 20 million views. I don't know what it did, but it didn't go big like that. You know what I'm saying? Do 1 million views, and then do 500,000, even 100,000. I don't think. But someone saw it and contacted that person's employer. And from that contact, that person lost their job. And people are putting it in compilations and laughing at it and mocking it. Laughing at people losing their jobs for having an opinion about someone else who put out content. Folks, content creators put out content. People have opinions about it. I feel like Charlie Kirk was a content creator and a political activist. And I really will, and now in light of the millions and millions of dollars that I know that he was given by the Republican Party, now I look at him like an employee, frankly. Because nobody gives your organization $90 to $150 million a year, and then you call that person independent activist. Activists don't get that type of money. That's not what activists get. But the fact that people are losing their jobs, I just want to tell people, man, watch what you say. There is nothing to gain. Whatever you think will come of that video where you were criticizing Charlie Kirk, I'm not saying it's right. I disagree with any action taken against people for just having a different opinion about Charlie Kirk. Okay? We got different opinions about Obama, different opinions about all people in power, different opinions about Trump. All people in public spaces, any celebrity, anyone, you can have an opinion about them, right? Not really, so I support the First Amendment. I support you being able to have freedom of speech. But they ain't playing fair, fam. Nah, they're not playing fair. They're doing dirty business. It is dangerous. I don't want anybody out here getting jacked up. I don't want people losing their livelihoods behind this. This is a conversation. There'll be something else to move on to next week. There are more things to discuss than Charlie, and you will if you lose that job and you lose that reference, that may put a real monkey wrench in some of your future, at least the near future prospects. You don't need more obstacles. We don't need more obstacles in our lives. That's all I'm saying. Working class Americans, you don't need more obstacles in your lives. This goes for everybody, Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, whoever you are. I've seen all those people. Now, I could have put out a video of liberals crying after being terminated and made money off of it. I don't want to do that. I want to inform the community, right? FAFO, 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 FAFO. Yeah, man. But I don't support people getting fired for the reasons of just vocalizing their opinions about this situation. And if it wasn't for the Trump administration, corporate media putting this guy on a pedestal, then most people wouldn't even be commenting about it. A lot of people didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was. They didn't follow him. He's being sensationalized in death, because that's what we do. I didn't know who King Von was till he got shot, which is amazing because, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of these rappers. I didn't know who they were. I'm old, man. I don't know these rappers, these young rappers. You know, Wu-Tang, Kanye, you know what I'm saying? I know general people, The Game, 50 Cent. I know some new people, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. But you know, the new, I don't know these young people. I know them for antics, not music. You know what I'm saying? And some of the people that have passed recently in the last couple of years, I didn't listen to their music. And to thank Charlie Kirk, who was dancing with Candace Owens back in 2018 to a Kanye song, Power or whatever it is, and Candace Owens won't let us forget. She's riding that horse for us. She's riding that Charlie Kirk horse. It was like our song, and it was something that we shared together as we were navigating the rough political waves, Charlie and I. When Charlie went from that in 2017, 2018 to dancing and rapping, openly rapping about Kanye West songs, to in 2024 talking about we need to get rid of rap music. He sounded like Charleston White. We need to get rid of all rap music, dump it all. It's garbage, it's bad for us, it's this, it's that. And at the end of the day, he is now in death more popular than he was. His support, his following has 10x'd. He did a Grant Cardone. He 10x'd his support. He went from like 1 million followers on Instagram to 10 million followers. And I forget the exact number, but it was that steep and incline. Last thing, man, look, be careful. They are coming for jobs. They are taking this, they're making this a referendum on going after people's livelihoods for their private conversations or their conversations on their own timelines on social media. I mean, if that's petty, and they're seeking it out, some of it doesn't take you to even be doxxed. They're looking for the government is using governmental resources. That's what the lawyer just said. The Department of Defense is using government resources to go after former and current employees. Well, I would say current employees. Looking at their timelines. And trying to punish them or hold them accountable, or I don't. You know, and the worst thing about it, here's the worst thing about it, Johnson. Charlie Kirk, and I don't know everything about him. I know some things about him. I've watched certain clips. I've watched some video content. Known about him for years because this is my space. He was very pro First Amendment. So the whole idea, the whole concept of going after people because of what they say about him goes against most of what he was trying to say, what he was projecting that he was doing, which was trying to exercise free speech. And what's the response to that? To go after people on the same basis of free speech. And to justify that and say, well, this person did this. This individual who's, you know who he was, that's the person who should be held accountable if you can prove he did it. That's the person. Not random people that work at Walmart or Amazon or Lyft or a plumbing company or a sewage company or an auto dealership or a flower company. These are not the people that had anything to do with what happened to your Savior, your Lord and Savior. All right. So we're supposed to truncate civil rights and then give over all powers and get rid of all our constitutional rights, right, to people so that the government can tamp down and make this like Nazi Germany or several countries in the Middle East where freedom is not speech. There is no freedom of speech. Ain't that something? All right, fam, let's keep going, fam. Here we are.
Guys, how do you feel about Charlie Kirk being assassinated on a college campus? Do you think your freedom of speech is still protected in America?
I feel like regardless of what you say and what you do, that type of stuff happen every day. That's my opinion on it.
Death happens every day.
Yeah,
it does.
Do you think you should be murdered for your opinion?
No, I don't think you should be murdered, but let's be honest. He had it coming based on everything he was saying and what he believed in. So the way I see it, he lived by the gun, he died by the gun.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand. Do you think because he spread his opinion more, that brought him in more danger?
Correct.
So what do you think about the First Amendment, right? The right to free speech.
He just answered the question and it makes a lot of sense. If you're a rapper and you start rapping about other rappers and they get tired of it, things get dangerous. You're talking to black young men who understand how the culture works. It's not saying it's right that happened to you, but there are certain rules to the game. Charlie didn't have those rules because he's an upper middle class white guy, and then he was raised an upper middle class white kid, and then he became a rich, wealthy white guy. So he's oblivious to this type of rules that these young black men are trying to explain to you. You want to ask a question 15 different ways, but see how you open up the conversation? Freedom of speech. Yeah, of course you got freedom of speech, but there are repercussions, which we're learning about more and more every day. Let's keep going.
Or you use it, maybe you're liable for
Don't
death?
get me wrong. I believe in free speech. I believe everybody, within the United States of America should have an opinion to, be themselves and express their opinions. But some opinions are a little too extreme for you to be so eager to spread out. To me, in my opinion, I believe that Charlie Kirk spread nothing but hate.
Okay.
Especially, not gonna lie, when he said that if his 10-year-old daughter got raped, he would still force her to have the baby. That alone just tells me, yeah, bro, you're gonna have it coming to you.
Do you think there's another kind of answer to spreading that kind of hate other than the death of yourself?
Yes, I do, but unfortunately, some people are willing to take it to that extreme. So it may be other options, but for right now, that's the one that was taken. So.
Okay. Do you think college campuses should still be an open forum for debate and discussion in America?
Yes, because universities are meant to challenge your thoughts. Again, I don't believe that no one should die based on their opinions, but I do respect why he did it at college campuses, because again, college campuses are meant to be places where you're supposed to challenge your thoughts. How can I say this? They'll either strengthen your thoughts or make you think. They'll make you rethink everything that you ever thought in your life if you go to like I said. So
I think that's very important. I think talking to one another and hearing each other's perspective on life only makes each other grow.
Exactly.
Is there anything else you guys want to say?
Not really. we live in Philly, bro.
Yeah,
you die to be born on a certain block, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it being the bitty crazy as it is, but
Do you think that should change?
I feel like it should. I feel like it ain't, though.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Everybody says that they want Philly to change, but
Next on deck with Tim Black.
There it is, Johnson. College campuses did not shoot Charlie Kirk. Wasn't this the college that did this? He appeared at, someone told me he made hundreds, if not 1,000 or so, I don't know, appearances on college campuses. It wasn't the college campus that shot Charlie Kirk. It was Tyler Robinson, right? Allegedly, right? And when that the person that did it, it was not the school. It was not random people that disagreed or people that thought this clip was indecent. Random people. It was one particular person. It appears. I like this clip because it shows the contrast between the reporter and these young men. So what I've been telling people is, so one of my commenters told me, Tim, people die every day, B. And they're right. People do die every day, B. And this guy doesn't get through his head that Tyler was, not Tyler, but Kirk is a human being. And there are other human beings that die every day for maybe not for political speech, but for speech. Yeah, talking about people behind their back and gets you popped. Saying things about people loudly or saying the wrong thing or getting into an argument gets lots of people popped from across the spectrum. It's just people are talking and acting as if this is not like things don't happen in America. America is a very violent country. We got more guns than people, and we know how to use them. I'm not even going to bore you with all the things that Kirk said about guns. He even said that right after school shooting where children were unalived by a shooter, when a person on the college campus, one of the students questioned him about what can we do about gun laws about this, Charlie was like, hey, at the end he was like, hey, some people gonna die, B. We gotta be able to keep our rights to guns, and as a casualty of that, sometimes kids gonna get shot. But now we have gone totally jumped the shark, the Trump administration, and making this about everybody and tamping down and changing. And hey, man, I'm concerned about what this is going to lead to. The young man said in Philly, you died for being on the wrong block. Are you talking to us? You talking to us about a guy who put out countless information, disagreeable stuff to the whole masses, to as many people as possible. And then it came back because somebody crazy or determined or frustrated or angry or off medication or whatever. I don't even know. We don't even know exactly. It came back? Yeah. It did. That doesn't mean it's justified. It does not mean it's justified. But anybody in a public forum runs that kind of a risk, and that's what's scary about it. And I think a lot of politicians are very afraid of it. Very afraid of it. They're witnessing what's happening. They know what happened, and they're concerned about it becoming a more common occurrence. That's really what's going on. I just think punishing people by taking away their rights ain't going to change it. People still going to feel the way they feel about the content. That's still not going to change it. Saying people can't talk does that change it? It would not have changed the outcome. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. What's up? What's up, you two, man? How y'all doing? Donna G said it. She says, get the likes up, please. Yeah, we get any likes? I don't know. I'm so busy. Man, says, dude, it's just polarized we are in society. Yes, we are very polarized. For sale. The boomerang of life is a beast when it comes back around. Miss Ebony, yes, you're absolutely right. I got to check out Miss Ebony. Lion, you spoke against some shadow peoples. I heard that too. I do. He would be pleased to know that happened the same day he left his realm. It's what he believed in and fought so hard for. Wow. Yeah. Wow, check this out. I know guys that lost jobs for Coke because they drank Gatorade, a Pepsi product. Yo, very good point. Very good point. You're absolutely right. When I worked at the Redskins stadium over in Landover, Maryland, doing IT work, I was like, this is a great job. I'm not going to go into the story, but I remember finding out it wasn't as great as I thought it was. Now, me, I grew up as a Redskin. One of my top clubs is Redskins. I also love the Pittsburgh Steelers. I ended up loving the Baltimore Ravens as well, right? But as a football team, I was bigger on the Steelers just because I was a big Rocky Bly, Lynn Swann, Star Wars fan, okay? But anyway, Terry Bradshaw fan. Be that as it may. Dan Snyder, the owner of the Redskins, I don't know if he still is. I think they finally got rid of Dan Snyder. I heard he was a horrible owner. He said, anybody comes in our stadium doing work, we're not talking about even doing a season. I was working there in the off season as they prepped the stadium with the kiosk and getting everything, all the computers and stuff running to run all that stuff. Fam, they would kick you out if you was a contractor coming into the stadium and you wore any memorabilia of any team that was not the Redskins. They would send your ass packing. So I'm just doubling down on what Oz is saying here. What Oz is saying here is 100% true. 100% true. People lose their jobs for all types of frivolous stuff. Now, he didn't fire them. He just made that contract company, whatever they, send us another guy. This guy cannot say, if you come in our stadium and you are wearing this, out. Now, I don't think he was that way during the game time because that would be crazy. But during the off season, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was that bad, fam. All right, y'all ready? Let's keep going. This is a good conversation. Hit the like button. Let the algorithm know you're watching the Tim Black Show, and so more people can find us. What's up?
So, you know, it's funny. I used to say that, hey, if you as a gay person would go to Gaza, they'd throw you off of tall buildings, right? Now they don't have any tall buildings left, so I don't.
When you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Is that too soon? I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't kill Jews, stupid Muslims.
Yeah, that guy's a great humanitarian. He never said anything that would get anybody upset. I don't know why people just pick, so upset with him. I mean, somebody's talking about Gazans. Talking about Gaza being leveled by Israel. Ah, so what? Talking about gay people getting thrown off buildings. Fun stuff. Just a joke. You can't take a joke as freedom of speech. That was that. I didn't find it that funny. I mean, I guess you could make a joke about it if you really had to, but I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah, I see.
Where was I? So, yeah.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Oh my God. Everybody has not because of my name is Charlie Kirk.
And this is what I'm talking about, guys. That make any sense to you? Does that make any sense to you? That young man who just did that was expelled from the Texas State University for that. That is a Charlie Kirk rally, remembrance, whatever they're doing. He crashed it, and he started mocking Charlie Kirk. And so for that, someone saw it on social media.
Oh, buddy. Fuck that nigga. You're gonna get expelled, dude.
So someone said, you're going to get expelled, dude. And he was right. And if someone says you're going to get expelled, dude, I think he knew that dude would get expelled for that. Yeah, how would you know he's going to get expelled for it unless it was already in the rules? Hey, don't do this. Don't do this. If you do this, you're getting expelled. Because see, the woke stuff goes both ways. They want you to think it only went one way. Like when someone's like yelling the N-word at black people, it's woke to throw them out of school. It's just a word. You can't even make a joke about Charlie. An individual, not a race. So, statement from the Texas president. I saw the governor, Texas Governor Abbott. Greg Abbott saw it, and Greg Abbott saw this video. He commented on it on X and said, Texas State University, expel him now. Get him out of your school. And I swear, like a day later, I saw this. Statement from Texas State, President Dr. Kelly. This is a follow-up to the message I sent earlier today. The university has identified the student in a disturbing video from Monday's event. I would not tolerate behavior that mocks, trivializes, or promote violence on our campuses. It is antithetical to our TXT values. The individual is no longer a student at TXT. Federal law prevents the university from commenting further on individual student conduct matters. Unfortunately, some people are suggesting that the individual's actions represent the beliefs of Texas State students in general or those of specific student organizations. These kinds of insinuations are unfair to our student body, blah, 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 blah. Actions of one person do not reflect our entire community or the individuals in it. Now, here's the thing, guys. And this is where I can say maybe it's possible you can make the claim that as hot as this topic is right now, this has the potential to cause more violence on the campus. Like if you're interrupting that type of protest, or if you're doing this as like an inciting, it can lead to more violence. And maybe I guess you can make that case because people are livid, people are on 10 right now. Maybe that's something that they're trying to say on the campus. It just looks on the outside of his face, it just looks like, I don't know. It looks like this is a clampdown based on ideology of Republicans. That's what it looks like. Because why was the governor involved? I can see if random students reported it. You know what I'm saying? I can see that. Maybe it's some family members of students reported it. I would see that. But the fact the governor, the state governor of Texas, he sent this himself to the world publicly, made the comment on the video, and told you to get rid of this guy. That makes it seem like a state decision. And that I don't think it's cool at all. I think that bumps up against the Constitution, our First Amendment rights, and that at least gives everybody the appearance of we live in a police state where we can't have a conversation. We can't say whatever we want to say. And that's supposed to be, supposedly, I've been here for the last week, supposedly that's supposed to be what it's all about, having conversation, having a personal opinion. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, let me know what y'all think, man. I think that, and this is what
Next
I'm saying, don't play
deck
around. Don't
with
play
Tim
around.
Black.
You hope that. You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever. And there never will be. Because if they can tell you what to say, they're telling you what to think. There is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes, not to hurt other people, but to express his views.
Next on deck.
Yeah, this is getting dicey, Johnson, and that's when it gets unfortunate. And that's where it starts showing you that we got such a polarized country. We got people on one side of the issue, other people on the other side of the issue, and people can't admit that Tucker's got a point. I hate to say he has a point, but he's got a point. There are some Democrats I've been having to bite my tongue and say, you know what, I gotta agree with him. Same thing with Tucker. But when someone's right, they're right. The last thing you want to see is this happen and this be spread. That laws become, legislation come out of this. That limit people's conversation, that limit what you can say. And what's diabolical about it, fam, as I stated earlier, this is supposedly what Kirk was all about. That's what they tell me. They say, Tim, you got him wrong. Yeah, he said all those things earlier in his career, early days, trying to build up. Tim, you're right. But he had changed in leveraged or toned down and clamped down and focused in and tightened up his language as things went on. It's not as bad as you think he was, Tim. It's actually a good guy. That's what they've been telling me. Oh, I got people sending me all types of clips, man. My box is loaded with clips after clips of people trying to make me understand better. Well, this is one thing I do understand. Any content creator, anybody that speaks, anybody with a platform, doesn't want censorship. And whether you are Tucker Carlson, or if you are Don Lemonhead, or you are, I don't know, anybody. If you're Tim Black, if you're anyone, if you got a content on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are, YouTube, you don't want this to happen. This is not good for us. But as usual, you know who's going to catch hell. You already know who's going to catch hell. We're going to catch hell. We're going to be first one catch hell, and we're going to be the last ones catching hell. You understand what I'm saying? That we know. Regardless of what they said about DEI, yeah, we definitely have affirmative action on catching hell for any of the new goofy policies that Donald Trump will enact and any other president would enact. So yeah, I push back big time. And this is why we got to get beyond just looking at things from Republican concepts or Democrat concepts. Look at your best interest. I try to tell everyone, look at your best interest. In the best interest of us, try to galvanize and promote Black Americans to get their heads out their ass when it comes to Democrats. Stop automatically going with the Democratic Party. Well, you know what? The last thing I want them to do is to be able to censor my free speech. Because without free speech, we don't have a movement. We don't have people coming together. We don't have people waking up and realizing, hey, we've been voting for the same party for 50 years. Tim Black said, hey, we haven't moved more than 2% in home ownership in 50 years, and we've been giving our votes all to the same party. What's going on with that? Why is our home ownership numbers going down? See, those are the type of questions I want people to talk about. Don't talk to me about rap music. Don't talk to me about, oh, why does such and such have a baby or whatever. No, talk to me about the home ownership of Black Americans. Why is it only 40% of Black Americans own their own homes, when 70% of white Americans own their own homes and 50% of Latinos own their own homes? Let's do something about that. And don't tell me it's because, oh, we have kids. So what I'm saying is, the free speech gives us the opportunity to have the conversations that lead people to think deeper, and that mobilizes everything. And don't get it twisted. It's not just Republicans who will want to control free speech. It's not just them. Democrats want to do it too. In fact, Democrats were trying to control free speech all through COVID. Let's be clear here. Democrats were the first to try to censor free speech. They want to censor what comedy jokes you can make. That wasn't Republicans trying to fire people for making jokes on comedy shows. Dave Chappelle was not running for people with red hats. That was Juicy Smollett. Allegedly. Nah, but seriously, Dave Chappelle wasn't getting canceled. They weren't trying to cancel. Republicans weren't trying to cancel Dave Chappelle or any other community. Republicans didn't make Kevin Hart lose his Oscar gig because he made a joke on Twitter a decade ago. They took away that brother's Oscar gig over a joke he made 10 years ago on Twitter. Twitter ain't even around no more. He lost a job for that in 2023. So it's sad to see Republicans going this way, because one thing they did, one feather in their hat one feather in the Republicans' hat that they had, one feather in the MAGA hat was they were against censorship. And now all it took was one bad act, one notorious, heinous, horrific act for them to change all that shit. Forget everything. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. We want to censor everything. And now they got me agreeing with Tucker Carlson. Damn it. That was not on my bingo card. I'm offended. Y'all make me agree with the guy. But when you're right, you're white. Anyway, you can spit facts if you're black. Works that way too. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, fam? So yeah, it's getting more and more dangerous. And we didn't even got to Jimmy Kimmel. Wait till I tell you about Jimmy Kimmel. Funny thing happened today. Hit the like button. This is the Tim Black Show. We live stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here. Be here, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's keep going. Goodness gracious.
With Tim Black.
Yeah, all night.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
And I'm not living around blacks. Sorry. You know, I want white kids, and I don't want my white kids bringing home black people to marry. It's racial for me. And you call me racist? Oh, very Christian of you. I don't give a fuck.
Here's the thing, too. I just read an article yesterday that Nick Fuentes is gaining in popularity. And where he used to be kind of the right-wing outer sphere, he is now coming to the inside. And this is why. Because of the racism. Like you said, it hits hard. Fox News doesn't go quite this bold, but it's racially coded all day long, every day. People want to hear that they're better than them because that's what they believe in their religious beliefs. So they like hearing it from other people.
This is not fringe in Bible Belt states, you guys. It is not fringe. And I know as scary as that is for you all to hear that and painful for Black and brown people to hear that, I just want you to know that I've seen it. I have seen it, and I have experienced in white circles, white people saying versions of this or hearing, stories like this. This is what, when they say make America great again, as Pumps just said, it's for sure their number one target is always Black people. It always is. This rise in racism should be the top story, but because all of our politicians are so beholden to Israel, it's always the rise in anti-Semitism. So then the Republican Party can say to the Black electorate, the Democrats have abandoned you. They use you. And I'm going to say, unless the Democrats really start addressing this rise in racism, that's going to be a pretty good argument for Republicans to make, because this is so abhorrent. This is so horrific. And this white evangelical engine behind Donald Trump, their number one, before women, before gays, before anybody, is Black people. It always has been, and it always will be. And I can tell you that because I've lived around it. I have heard it. I have seen it, and it still goes on to this day. And so many white people are too cowardice to stand up and fight for their Black brothers and sisters. And it just is absolutely sickening. Moving along, here's Caroline.
Yeah. Yeah, she's right. She's got a point there. That's what I've been saying for quite some time. Even progressives, even liberals, yeah, you too. Yeah, that's why I'm over here independent, man. I had to get away from that because it exists everywhere. And if you are crazy enough to think you are excluded because somebody gave you a MAGA hat or something, you're goofy. I see them. These are really good people. Ah, okay. But let's dig a little bit further than what she said, because there's a couple things I do disagree with. I agree that the Democrats are faking the fuck when it comes to Black Americans. Their support of us is conditional on our giving them our vote without getting anything in return except lip service and symbols. We don't need symbols, we need solutions. And that's what they're on. They're on the symbol train. And that's what they've been doing for quite some time. And what they do is they give a couple of jobs to a couple of Black faces, put them in high places, never really give them power. And anything they do get, they gatekeep, and they protect their spot and shoo away other Black people. It's not even like it's really helpful to the Black community because they're so focused on keeping their position, they don't want to risk it. So we lose out on both sides because we end up with a Black person that's basically neutered and not standing up for us at all. And white people get to say, liberals and progressives get to say, see, we got a Black person. So that thwarts or blunts any criticism. So their shield is having that black face in the place, but the black face is so frightened. It's like a person kidnapped. It's like a person, I don't know, the only black in the big house in the big house, and they're like, oh man, I just want to not have to go out in that field. That look like that hurt. I'm backing that bill for that. I can't do that bailing. I want to stay here in the house. So I agree with that part. But let's make something clear though. It's not just Republicans that I got a problem with on this notion. You saying Republicans are aiming at black people, that we are enemy number one and we're the first ones they come after. That's true. That's true. I agree with that. But Democrats, who do they first support? I say they first support immigrants. I think they have more support for immigrants and for LGBTQIA than they do for black Americans. Name the legislation that has been promoted or put forth for black Americans. I mean, basically, if it wasn't for a black American occasionally getting shot by a cop, we wouldn't hear nothing about black people at all from the Democratic Party. For 18 months, everything has been about deportations. Everything has been about undocumented immigrants. Everything. That's what's been taking up all the oxygen in the room. All the focus of the Democrats has been about undocumented people. And if anything, they've been beating up black people saying, you don't care enough. Why aren't you out there fighting against XYZ to help the undocumented people? So that's really where I see the difference. That's the only thing I take issue with that she said. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of people that talk a good game, but when it comes to really standing up, they're not doing it. They're not truly standing up for black Americans. Black Americans got to stand up for black Americans. And Clifton Powell, the great actor Clifton Powell, had a great interview where he said something that I admired and I totally agree with. And I don't have a problem with anybody who takes a while to kind of get this in their head, for brothers and sisters to understand. Yo, man, there's a price to pay from going to the top. It's a price to pay for fully crossing over. That's the price that Don and Joy and anybody in the space, anybody in the space has to pay. White Americans pay it too. White Americans, anybody that wants to cross over or become totally mainstream, they pay a price. Clifton Powell said he made it a commitment to himself to never ever totally leave his people. To always be willing to go back and take a lot less money to do a project with the people that he came from, the people that he worked with, the people that got him where he was, the people that are going to be with him. So he said he'd rather be a mid-level actor and had the ability to move back and forth because black America's not going to cancel him like that. Working class white folks are going to hold up and represent those types of people that represent them. Same thing. But when you get to the elite place, when you get to the top of mainstream, you say the wrong tweet, you out. You make the wrong Facebook post, you out. You don't be the flavor of the month, you gone. Look what they did to Al Franken and the Democrats. They got rid of a little Jewish guy for a joke he made in a picture a decade earlier and got him out of Congress, out of the Senate. Folks, they Me Too'd their own guy. Not because women were coming forward saying, hey, this guy is horrible, he's Harvey Weinstein and people. No, because of a picture of him making a joke on a plane with a co-worker or a co-writer on one of his whatever. And some woman said, oh, he touched my butt at a carnival in 1992. So what I'm saying is they'll cancel you. And he's just finally kind of like getting back to like being in like scene. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is they are very sometimey. It is bad business to put your eggs in their basket because they will break your basket. They will step on your basket. Put all your eggs in that basket if you want. You better have some eggs in a basket you keep in the hood that your hood friends keep. Have a basket you keep in your working class friends' garage where y'all work on the car on the weekends and have a few brews where nobody cares what kind of shoes you got on, or if your clothes, your shirt match your pants, like if it's the proper aesthetic, if you got it from the appropriate website, has the proper brand name on it. No, you need to be focused on staying grounded because these people do not care, man. I like this podcast because it seems like they speak truthfully, but there's limits even to these two white ladies. Because I see clips circulating, I'm like, they talk so bold. I wonder if that's them. Is it AI? They talk bold. I seen clips. I don't know if those clips are real, but they're not being totally honest. Because you cannot criticize Democrats without going for the undocumented shit. I mean, I should not know Abrego Garcia's name. How I know that guy's name? The Maryland father. What? The governor of Maryland went to El Salvador for an undocumented immigrant suspected of human trafficking. Why do they suspect him of human trafficking? He is in a truck, driving a truck with 10 people, 10 foreign nationals from various Latin American countries. None of them spoke English, and he had $150,000 on him. There's video footage of the whole thing. They let him go. How can you, the governor of Maryland, because this became a political football, I don't know. This mofo goes to El Salvador to get him out of prison because Trump deported his ass to El Salvador with all those other people. You remember that, right? Here's the kicker. I didn't hear about the Maryland governor going after, was it the Maryland governor? Because that would be Wes Moore. No, I'm sorry, Senator Hoven. That's his name. And I know I live in Maryland, so this is bad. It was that Wes Moore, it was that senator that I did not vote for. This fucker, I didn't vote for his ass. But what I'm saying is, he went to El Salvador to fight to try to get the undocumented human trafficker alleged out of jail. But he didn't go do nothing for Dakara Thompson, the black girl thrown off the bridge by an undocumented immigrant. I haven't seen it. Now, you can send it to me. Did he go see Mrs. Thompson's families? Is he up here riding that case? Is he up in Upper Marlboro? Is he in Annapolis trying to get something done about that? Is he riding that case, make sure that guy gets what's coming to him? I haven't seen him giving press conferences about that black girl, 19 years old, murdered and thrown off a bridge like waste, like a bag of garbage. I haven't seen him. So what I'm saying is, there are so many things you can get the Democrats for. You can hit them all day on this shit. So sometimes the people that go in there and they look like they're really speaking truth to power, I don't know. I know these women, they know the topics, they know the issues. Why weren't they going there? Why are they talking about, when you go after Republicans, I'm fine with going after Republicans. But let's not forget, we got both sides of the coin that deserve the heat. And when you're black Americans advocating for black Americans, and she's talking about black Americans, she's saying how black Americans are being discarded. She's saying how white Americans are so racist. Well, you know what? I don't care as much about how people see me, what they think about me. I care more about what they do to me and what their policies, how they impact me. And what I'm saying is, when you bring in 20 million people, when Joe Biden brings in 20 million people, all I know is when my older brother left home, he left early. He had a girlfriend, he wanted to leave. After my mother got over it, after my pops got over it, at some point it settled in and they said, well, one less egg to fry. And I know if you got 20 million people coming to your house, that's a lot of eggs. And they got to get the egg money from somebody. And you got to get the egg resources somewhere. And people got to sleep somewhere. People got to eat somewhere. All these things matter. And if you're going to have a podcast, you talk about black America and you so bold and you making a name for yourself, turning over the tables inside of the Pharisees' tables inside the temple. We need to go out to them damn Democrats when it comes to immigration too. And if you don't, who are you really advocating for? Stop talking tough just because you're going after racist whites. That's easy. Stop talking tough, acting like you are the white savior of the black people. Because we want to know what's up with this immigration thing. We want to know what's going on with that too. That's an important point. That's a flashpoint that we want to be concerned with. And see, I judge the liberals by if they're willing to touch that. Because I feel like if you can't touch immigration, if you don't have a heart to touch immigration, and I'm sure there are people with different points of view, we could debate it, we could go back and forth, but yo, if you say you advocating for black Americans, you will not discuss immigration, deportation with for an honest debate. You won't be critical of our deportation policies, of our immigration policies, both illegal and legal. I say you ain't advocating for black Americans. So until you do that, you're doing clickbait. Because that's how serious it is for us. That's how serious it is for the black Americans that live in these sanctuary states or sanctuary cities. You know what I'm saying? That's how serious it is. All right, let's keep going, fam. I don't know if we're going to get to all this, man. I'm getting long-winded tonight.
Including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately...
Hold up, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on a second here. Chance Crockett. Damn. Look, I don't know how this is considered constructive or good or whatever, but I don't know how much security you got. I don't know what you're trying. What the hell is going on, Johnson? Cash Patel, the FBI director. And it sounds like Shorty did it because of Cory Booker. You did it for Brutus. What's this guy? He likes holding court. Cory Booker, loudmouth, windbag Cory Booker with a bunch of Spartacus, whatever his speech, whatever. That's what it is. Because Cash Patel undressed down Cory Booker. That ain't hard to do. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. You know, I'm Cory Booker. I was the mayor of Newark, and I believe we have to, come on. So that makes you want to go jump into harm's way? I mean, basically, I don't know. I saw this clip. I thought it was like, wow, damn. Like, I mean, I know she goes after Trump, but now she's been moving down to Cash Patel. Like, there's repercussions for stuff like this. And when those repercussions come, you know what I'm saying? I just hope people recognize that they set themselves up for repercussions. I'm not wishing that on you, but come on, Johnson. Come on. Like when they say, Tim, they say, yo, we need to tone down the rhetoric. We need to turn down the heat. We need to turn down take the pot off the stove, for God's sake. Shit's getting crazy. People are getting clipped. We had people getting clipped in Minnesota. Before that, Josh Shapiro had the governor mansion burned to the ground. And then we just happened to Kirk. And I know that's a little different, but still, he's in the politics world. And what do people learn from it? They're still jumping out the window. And she basically is trying to, I feel like she's just bringing this on herself. Like, I don't get it. And all I'm saying is, if you want to say people need to tone down the rhetoric and y'all coming for people online for making posts, I mean, I think we got to have some level of chill, because people getting crazy right now. That's all I'm saying. People getting crazy. That makes sense to y'all? Like, I don't see what the point, what's it a gain from saying you the worst, this, I see it. And I don't know if he is or not. And that's the thing. And nobody was really paying attention to who these people are in these positions. We're paying attention to that. But I do know under the last guy, you know, the guy under Biden, I remember Trump, I don't know. I remember the FBI labeling Black Americans who are independent like me as Black identity extremists. And that's just Black people that said, I'm Black. I'm a Black American. And for that, they were labeling us extremists. Not because we did anything, but we were extremists. We'll come back to that later. Let's keep it moving, Johnson. Let's go to Jimmy Kimmel while we're still young. Come on, Crockett. Don't blow a sprocket. You out of pocket. That's all I'm saying.
With the FBI prior to joining, yet we are supposed to believe that you were the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your
We just need to tell you bye-bye. And I know it's going to be people tell Black, why are you giving her the business? Dog, I didn't give her the business. I'm criticizing that. Come on, man. We just need to tell you bye-bye. Stop acting like the Democratic Party is the Black Party. It's not.
show for your boss, because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. There's demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
I was genuinely disturbed by Trump's reaction to Charlie Kirk's death. Isn't this your friend? They asked him about it the day after, and he said, yeah, anyway, so we're building the new East Wing. Are you serious? You got shot. This is your 31-year-old friend who supported you for years. You know him by name. Your son is friends with him. It doesn't seem like he could be bothered. He didn't go to the memorial. He's golfing. He's dancing at a sports outing. Shame on all of the Trump shills for not calling this out. They will praise anything. The Department of War, the Gulf of America. Where is the leadership? Where's the messaging? Where's the information? Where is the whole of government effort to get to the bottom of this? Keep the American public apprised, deter future attacks, and to ensure that this will not happen again. Where is it?
We have some major...
Okay, look, now, on this channel, we called out Trump for those antics on another show. I already did it, right? So I saw it. I thought it was bad form. It looked horrible. It looked like Trump did not give a damn that he could not be bothered. Right. It seemed like he totally want to switch the conversation, because he did switch the conversation. People trying to tell you, oh, he didn't mean it that way. He's really grieving. Whatever. Okay. So that's one thing. The thing about Kimmel is, I didn't even know what he said was wrong. What he said, it was so damaging that they pulled his show off cable. So Fuentes just said the same thing about Trump. I thought that was a joke, but the reason why they say Kimmel lost his gig was we said Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk, it said because he said that Tyler was MAGA. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're saying is why the show got pulled. The show was pulled
characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. And
that's it. They tried to characterize this kid as anything other than one of them. That's why they pulled it from the show, because that was disrespectful. And I saw a segment of different people going on and on about it, that this was, Kimmel should have known, this was out of line. He should have known that this was going to cause a major ripple. This is going to cause a dust up, may cause him his job. People are reporting that he got fired. Last I heard, he didn't get fired. They pulled the show like it's on pause. They disconnected the water for a minute. They cut the valve off, but they ain't come get the box. They cut the cable, but they ain't make you bring in the equipment yet. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like in a holding pattern. But what I'm saying is he didn't even say anything that crazy. He just insinuated, based on his point of view, I guess, that Tyler Robinson is MAGA. I mean, talk about touchy-feely. Talk about being anal retentive here, guys. They like lactose intolerant from other opinions, aren't they? Is it to that degree? And look, I don't think ABC really gives a damn. They just don't want trouble. They just don't want a problem. And since Donald Trump is sending out, this is what I read, this was another piece of content. They're tapping down on what networks can say via the FCC. So now, news agencies are in trouble. Late night shows are in trouble. Their free speech is no longer being so free. And if they say the wrong things, licenses can be revoked. So here's the thing. I don't think what Jimmy Kimmel said was that bad. I don't think it was even warranted. In a regular, anybody else, that's nothing. That's timid. That's a tepid, flaccid, that's nothing. Who cares? That ain't even a roast, Johnson. You won't get no points on wilding out. Nothing for that. That ain't even funny. You might get booed off the stage with that joke. But in this climate, based on what the Trump administration is threatening to do, the way that network people and media have to walk on eggshells, ABC don't want that smoke. They looking at CBS, pay all that money out to Trump. They don't want no smoke. They're willing to sacrifice Kimmel. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Back when they went after Colbert, they did the thing with Colbert, who got a new job immediately. People crying, "Oh no, Colbert!" I'm like, Colbert's a rich ass guy. It's an expensive show to put on, and it's not making a lot of money. It sucks, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But, dog, this guy had another job before the ink dried on his termination letter. In fact, he had another job. He was still under contract when he got the new job. Like, he wasn't going to be terminated until like April 2026. The point is, when I saw that, I was looking into Jimmy Kimmel's production. And Jimmy Kimmel's numbers, they suck. So, not only was Jimmy Kimmel a liability because of the atmosphere of what's going on with Trump, going after news organizations, going after late night shows, going after networks, right, for speech that negatively impacts him or his administration. But you got a guy whose show ain't performing either. You got a show that's not doing well, it's not doing big numbers. That I don't know who's watching Jimmy Kimmel these days. I don't think Jimmy Fallon watches Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who's watching the Jimmy Kimmel show anymore. Bringing on another Republican or another Democrat operative. That's what they do now. That's what Stephen Colbert was doing. Just bringing on boring-ass Democrats. Making this like a show only for the DNC. It wasn't even a comedy show anymore. It wasn't a late-night show. It was a DNC show. So anyway, that's Jimmy Kimmel was not fired. The show, they put a pause on his ass. They Dame Dashed his show. Pause. It is what it is. How you feel about Jimmy Kimmel's show getting pulled? I think it was lame. I stated my point. I think it was lame. I personally hold my point of view on it. You saw what he said. Oh, no. He said Tyler Robinson was MAGA. Oh, no. And for that. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the way people be talking, the other bad jokes Jimmy's made, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was a 2. All right, let me know what you think. Over and under. Let me know what you think. Wow.
Doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grievance
with him.
According to
the Gulf of
According to 404 Media, which is an independent news organization, they found out that the Department of Justice deleted this study, which was conducted recently, and is currently reviewing materials about this study and other similar studies on its website. But the study essentially said that right-wing violence is outpacing all other types of violence. White supremacy violence is outpacing all other types of violence. And it was a pretty important study to show that domestic terrorism and homegrown terrorism really is contributing to a lot of the violence in the United States of America. And now this Department of Justice, unsurprisingly, is actually trying to whitewash these studies from the public's purview. As always, spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown of this and more on my Substack, linked in bio, so subscribe for free and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. I will have much more to come soon. According to 404 Media, which is an independent news organization, they found out that the Department of Justice deleted this study, which was conducted recently.
Now, look, guys, now people, well, check this out. First of all, I agree with this. I agree with this assessment. I haven't looked at the study. I will look at the study, but I already agree with it because that's not new. Like, we already knew that these right-wing extremist type organizations were the primary threat. Like, the DOJ reported this like a couple years ago. But this is a new study to show there's still a threat. With all this talk about the loony left and Antifa and all this other stuff they want us to focus on, that's just flash in the pan stuff. I mean, the real all-stars, the pro bowlers, are the right-wing extremists. Okay? The nationalists, social nationalists. That's it. So here's the thing. When people say Tim Black, or when people make comments about Trump's administration, I say, see, that's why Trump has these certain people. He didn't hire for brain processing power. Yeah, two could play that game. Trump did not hire his administration based on brain processing power. He hired them based on if they're going to go along with him. If he can count on them to do what he wants them to do to get his agendas accomplished. That's what he's about. He don't want anybody that's going to buck him, push back, divert, sabotage, play the other side, run interference, leak information, any of that shit. That's what Trump is on. He learned from his first term. Yeah, his first term taught him well. He's like, the most important thing, I don't care who I put in here. He'll put in a wax doll. He will. He'll put in a wax doll. He'll put in a mute, someone who cannot talk first. He'll put in someone in a vegetative state in a position. As his FBI director, as his Homeland Security, whatever, any position. As long as they shut up and do what he say do. That's it. He don't want problems. Because last time he put people in a position and they did the in around. They worked around him. They thwarted him. They leaked. They did all these things. So that's really what Trump is doing. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you. That's the criteria in which he picked these people because, Trump has his own way of doing his MAGA politics, right? But you got to understand, the Democratic Party, they don't have these problems. What leaks, what back doors than Biden have. Biden was basically incompetent. He was already on a downswing before he even took office. We were talking about the cognitive decline of Joe Biden back in 2016 on this channel. And I didn't have a crack team of investigators. If you followed him enough, you know the Joe Biden of 2008 was after Joe Biden of 2016. Okay? You knew it was a big difference. Those 8 years, massive in the degradation of his abilities, right? Okay. But under his presidency, how much leaking was there? Basically none. The vice president fell in line, all the cabinet fell in line, everybody was hush, hush. The only time anything came out is when it had to be dealing with Republicans, like that William Hur guy, right, who did that report when they got Biden in there and did the investigation about the documents. And he said, Biden bad. I would say we should charge him, but he's an old man who don't know where he is. He don't even know when his son got sick. He don't even know where he was. He don't know what day it is. Half the time I'm talking to him. I can't make this guy be like he meant to do what he did when he doesn't know where he is. The point of that is Donald Trump didn't have that power over his administration the first time. There were people leaking stuff, throwing stuff out, people working with the Democrats, people setting them up, people doing all types of shit. And what I'm saying is the Democrats have a closed system. You step out of line, your career's over. You don't follow the script, you gone. You are blacklisted, done for. Republicans didn't have that in place. Trump definitely didn't have that in place. So that's how Trump operates. And as it relates to what we're talking about right now, what's going on with the Chaz Patel and all these other officials and what's happening with the reports, yeah. They are now Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, these people, they're not going to put out anything. They're not going to put out anything that's going to make the Trump administration look bad at all. Count on it. No, that's what's going to happen. And as bad as that is, I'm positive because black people caught hell. Those 8 years under Obama were hell for black Americans. All the greatest hits of all the black people were done under Obama's reign. The Alton Sterlings, the Laquan McDonalds, all that shit happened under Obama. Yeah. What I'm saying is there was a lot. The Michael Browns, all that happened under Obama. What I'm saying is there was a lot that could have been said about what was happening to black people at that time, but they didn't want that conversation to be public. That was not a public conversation, and there was not a lot of people doing the in around on the Biden or on the Obama administration because they were loyal to the Democratic Party. They didn't want to step out of line. And those same people worked for Biden, and they didn't want to step out of line. Trump did not have the luxury of that type of silence and that type of commitment to shutting the hell up. He did not have a closed circuit, right? So that's what he's got now. He's got that in place. So people that are saying this is appalling, it's disgusting, I agree it is disgusting. It is appalling. But I want you to know it existed under Biden. You just didn't know about it because no one was talking about it. It existed under Obama. Anything you see Trump do, though he's trying to break some modes now. He is trying to go into uncharted territory now. But I'm going to stick to it because when you look at COVID, they're treating Charlie Kirk like COVID. There you go. Class dismissed. So I stick by my claim. Anything you see Trump doing and Democrats are complaining about it, know this. The Democrats have done the same thing at a different time. You may not have known about it. So before you start getting critical of the Trump administration or why you're being critical, look for the Democrats. Because if you compare the people that are losing their jobs talking about Charlie Kirk to the people that lost their jobs who talked about COVID, there is no comparison. There is no comparison. Far more people lost their jobs, access to this, access to that, for talking about the COVID, the jab, than anything else. There it is. Hey, they even went out to independent media. I got a strike just for even reporting on something that was already being reported about COVID. And I got a strike. And all I did was I did a story off a story. They didn't give a damn, Johnson, because that's how afraid they were of the Democrat administration and how they were cranking down. It wasn't for YouTube. YouTube, they be making them go up on the hill and sit through those long-ass meetings or them hard-ass chairs. No corporation wants to deal with it. None of them want the problem. Facebook, YouTube, none of them. We good? Get where I'm coming from? So don't trip. It's not good. I don't appreciate it. I do not support this overreach. I do not support the suppressing of reports coming out of the Department of Justice that show that the right-wing extremists are dangerous. Woo-wee! We knew that shit. But just know they're suppressing that. It's been a lot of other suppression. They could have done that report 4 years ago. It would have been the same report. They did do it probably. I remember Biden running on that. He tried to tie it to Trump, though we all know white supremacy, white nationalism, all this stuff been existing in America since America was America. Ever since black people got free. Yeah, that's what happened. When black people got their freedom papers, that's when the white nationalists appeared. Because free black people have always been a threat to racists. All right, let's keep going, guys. Thank y'all for watching this. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.
And is currently reviewing materials about this study and other similar studies on its website. But the study essentially said that right-wing violence is outpacing all other types of violence. White supremacy violence is outpacing all other types of violence. And it was a pretty important study to show that domestic terrorism and homegrown terrorism really is contributing to a lot of the violence in the United States of America. And now this Department of Justice, unsurprisingly, is actually trying to whitewash these studies from the public's purview. As always, spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown of this and more on my Substack, linked in bio, so subscribe for free and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. I will have much more to come soon.
Next on deck with Tim Black. Next on deck with Tim Black.
I'm about to save Obama for tomorrow, guys, or for Friday. How about that? How about we save Obama for Friday? It's a long segment. It'll take too long. And believe me, that's my last thing. Yeah, that's my last thing. It's too long. I'll leave you something to be excited about. That's what. I don't think you'll be excited to hear about Obama, what he got to say. So we good here, guys. We good? All right. Let's go to comments. Let's see what the comments are going on in the community. People on X and Facebook, post this, repost, hit like, make a comment, roast me, don't matter. Engagement is engagement. Everybody ain't got to agree all the time. It's okay. Big facts. Yo. Big facts, MAGA, and neo-Nazi loony bins. They'll do anything Donnie says. There you go. That's why he hired the FBI director, dummy. That's it. That's it. Exactly. That's why he did it. It doesn't mean like, and you know what? And yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. Yes, that's it. Trump is on that bull. Anyone that does what Trump, yeah, you better act right. You better not cry. Trump's telling you why. Actually, I saw Biden on something. He was talking somewhere. Someone had him come out and speak. I don't know why. I saw him somewhere. I just didn't report on it. I had a feeling you guys didn't really care about it. Damn. Look. Black Rose says Joe wasn't running the country, but truly would love to know who was. I don't know who was. I think it was run by proxy. It was either, okay, I have some guesses. It was run by a chief of staff, Ron Klain. Ron Klain actually worked at a company where Ron Klain worked as counsel. And Ron Klain is a huge mover and shaker. He is like been in a Joe Biden circle for last 15, 20 years, like out of Delaware, maybe even longer than 20 years. I mean, he's been with Joe Biden for quite some time. So Ron Klain, I think Ron Klain and other members of Joe Biden's inner circle, including Jill, ran the presidency. They ran the Oval. That's what I believe. Anthony says, tell Candace Owens, shh. 150,000. I forget what that's about, but okay. A cliffhanger, good one, Tim. I appreciate it, Jorge. Or a curb hanger, depending on how you feel about anything coming out of Obama. You know what I'm saying? The auto pen was being used. All right, guys, support independent media. Remember, this show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug. Thank you always, Black Mamba, for keeping me on my toes. The Legacy Mug, the Tim Black Legacy Mug right here is available at timblackmug.com. Timblackmug.com. That's $20. $20. We send you a mug. You got something for it. Some people want to support the show, but they got to get something back, you know. So you get this mug. I throw in a couple buttons, a couple stickers, call it even. Go to timblackmug.com. That is it, y'all. We had a good night tonight. Thank you for being here. More Tim Black Show on your way. We're going to do it. Join us. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack by going to Join Tim Black. Type in Join Tim Black and sign up for only $5 a month. That's one cup of coffee a month to keep the truth coming through the airwaves. I love you. I got nothing but love for you. See you on the next one. Wolfpack. All right, y'all. Not bad, not bad, not bad, Johnson. I appreciate y'all. We got to call a thing, Johnson, and let a player play. Yo, don't let nobody take your cornbread, people. Keep your cornbread. Don't let anybody take your cornbread. All right? And as always, where are my ladies, Johnson? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go.